I'll share with you now the top 3 easiest ways I continue to build trust within myself to become the woman I was always afraid to be. For decades of my life, I had this vision of myself that I thought I was supposed to be, but I could never reach her. I was afraid to be her. I didn't trust myself enough to become her because I didn't believe that I was worthy enough to be her. I've shared this vision with you already in the other 3 parts of this series. But what I had to do just recently was to let her go. I have held on to her so tightly for so many decades, and having that vision made me feel like a failure because I could never reach her. I could never become her. I was too afraid to become her. I didn't think that we were the same. Because I didn't believe that we were the same, that really held me back from becoming this version that I'd always seen. Now, this version she was very physical. She was fit, she was slim, she was strong, she worked out a lot, and that really was kind of it. That was the simple version of this person that I'd always had in my senses for so long. And I think I had that version, that particular physical version, because the reality version was always fat. I hated myself. I had ridiculous body issues. I blamed my body for everything. I always believed that I was incapable of doing a lot of things because the size of my body really held me back. Being fat, you can't do stuff. That was the message that I received continually, not necessarily directly, but through all of the, I guess, media outlets as a teenager. That's what they showed. Everything they showed was of a thin, skinny, beautiful person. I was not that. So I got to the belief that I was not capable of doing these things that I want to do. So I did have this realization just a couple of weeks ago as I've been working through a lot of stuff. I have been working through a lot of emotional stuff at the moment, really getting in touch with everything I've been feeling over the years and just allowing whatever feelings I'm having to rise to the surface, to be there, that it was okay for them to be there. So I love being physical. I really do. I've always loved working out. I love exercising. I love using weights and just finding different ways to move my body. But having that vision there, as I said, it just always made me feel like a failure. So even though I want to be physical and I love being physical, this version of myself is not me. And I had to make the tough decision to go, you know what, I can't hold on to that anymore because all it's doing is making me feel worse. Now, visualization is a very powerful tool, but it has to be the right visualization. It has to be in alignment with who you truly are and what you actually want. Whereas this version, I think, was a version of me that I thought I was supposed to be, the version of me that was constantly shoved into my senses as a teenage girl and was the exact opposite of who I was. That was when all the weight started to come on. That was when all the depression really took a hold and I hated myself and loathed myself and I punished myself by stuffing my face was so much food. I became a food addict. I needed food for love and comfort. I had a lot going on, and my body just expanded more and more and more over the years. But I tried to become her. I tried to become her for like over 3 decades. That's a long time to have this version of yourself that you attempt to be multiple times and always feeling like a failure. I was tired of feeling like a failure because I could never become her. So it was important for me, and I think I was guided there by my loving voice to go, you know what, it's time to let her go. She doesn't have to exist anymore, because I can just exist as I am now, in who I am. And yes, I want to be all of these things beyond what I'm doing, beyond the growth and learning and healing that I'm going through. But my healing has to take precedence at the moment, because I cannot go into the next decades of my life carrying all of that anymore. I've done that too much, and it's weighed me down way too much. So being who I am now and knowing what I want when I wake up, that's important. That is my goal. Knowing that I just want to wake up and feel good. That I don't have to strive to be anything else anymore. I just want to feel good. And when I woke up this morning and I didn't feel good because I had all of that emotional stuff going on, I worked through it instead of ignoring it like I always would do. I'm following my guidance on that. I am trusting myself to know what I need to be able to work through it and heal it and come out the other side and feel good. I've always put a lot of pressure on myself to be all of these things that I thought I was supposed to be. But knowing how to trust myself now and getting rid of the fear of getting to know myself better and becoming all of these things that I just am, that have always lived inside of me underneath all of that mess, I can let go of that pressure. I can't put that pressure on myself to be somebody else. I am me. I am quiet. I still have a bit of anger that sometimes I don't know where it comes from or why it's there. But it's there, but I work through it. I acknowledge it and try and figure out where it's coming from. I love to share this information. I love to write. I love to draw and work out. I love to run. That's the fun physical part for me. I love to run. I have started this running process many times, and I'm starting again, but from a different place this time. I'm not putting that pressure on myself. I'm not trying to become this certain version of myself. I just, as I said, I want to wake up every day feeling good and knowing that I get to listen to myself, that I can trust myself to know what it is that I want when I wake up. Do I want to work out today? Is my body okay to work out? Do I feel good to work out? Do I, just what is it that I need for myself in the day, and to be what I need to be for other people as well. I have a family. I have a young child that needs me as her mother, because this can't just be all about me and what I need. So it's sometimes letting ourselves go and just being what others need us to be, so that we can be there for them because we love them and we want to be, and we get that love in return. So taking the pressure off of everything really does make such a difference. And without that pressure, without that tense, anxious feeling that I have felt gazillion times throughout my life, I get to now feel my way to what it is that I want to feel, what I want to be, what I want to do, what I want to have, how I want to behave in my day, like all of that stuff. There's a lot that goes into what we are as humans throughout our days. If you were finding this video helpful, then please share it with someone you know who may also need to hear it. And thank you so much for subscribing to Love Body Woman for more ways to listen, learn, and love. And along with everything that I've shared, and I'm about to share my 3 easy ways that I continue to do every day to trust in myself and to become that person that I was always afraid to be, is to feel grateful. We talk a lot about gratitude, but it genuinely is one of the most powerful things that you could ever do for yourself. Just saying thank you. Thank you for everything. It changes how you feel. It actually changes the dynamic of what's going on in front of you. Now, this might sound a bit weird, and I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. But an example is, say I drop something, and by all rights, it should have broke. But if I drop it and I go, oh my gosh, thank you so much for not breaking, or thank you, I'm glad that wasn't worse than it was, then it's not as bad. But I have also gone the opposite way, and if I've dropped something and it has broken and I get cranky about it, then that's a difference. And I've noticed that in a lot of scenarios that have happened throughout my day, that when I say thank you, things actually are better. And if I don't say thank you, then they're that little bit worse. I was at a meeting with this wonderful spiritual medium about a year ago, and I always thought, and I think a lot of us believe, that love is the highest vibration. And she said that gratitude is actually a higher vibration than love. And that really just excited every cell of my being. I was just like, oh my gosh, that just felt so true. And since then, I've incorporated it more and more into my life and into my day. And I say thank you for a lot of things. It doesn't have to be these big, amazing things that happen to us that we have to be grateful for. You can be grateful for every little thing. Oh, I've got the green light. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Or, I don't know. I can't really think of other examples off the top of my head, but, thank you to your dog for being so cute and sweet and you get to hug them. Like, it's literally anything. Thank you that there's a bit of milk left for your coffee. Thank you to this delicious, I don't drink coffee, but we'll use coffee as an example. Thank you for this delicious coffee that I am drinking. I'm enjoying it so much. It is that little stuff. And it feels a little weird because we're not entirely like that as a society, being grateful for a lot of stuff. We're pretty angry and we're pretty aggressive and we're self-centered, and we believe, we just get cranky at people all the time, and it's not a nice way to live. It doesn't feel good. So yes, gratitude really is very powerful, and use it as you're learning to trust yourself more, as you're becoming that person that you're afraid to be, because it will only enhance that process. So here are the 3 things that I do for myself consistently to be all of that, to keep trusting in myself, to keep building that trust, to listen to myself, and just be that person that I want to be. So the first thing that I do is I question everything. I question every thought, I question every feeling, I question every action and behavior, just literally everything. But I do it with love. I don't question it in a mean and nasty way. I don't question it in a judgmental way. It's just, okay, Why am I thinking this way? Why am I feeling this way? Where has it come from? Is it true? Is it real? Did I make it up? Is it from 30 years ago? Is it from 3 minutes ago? Where has it come from? So question every thought and every feeling that you have with love and kindness, and really just keep going within. Keep checking in with yourself and discovering more about yourself. When these mean and nasty thoughts come up, when these feelings come up, when something is triggered inside of you because of somebody else, all of it. Just, it gets a little exhausting sometimes. You might need a break, but that comes, okay? Just keep questioning. It's really important, because you have to know why you're feeling the way you're feeling and thinking the way you're thinking. Because that way it opens up so much more space for you, for that trust to keep expanding within you. And the second one is, and I've already touched on this, is that I hear what others have to say, but I listen to myself. I know what is best for me and me alone. I can offer advice. I can offer my experience, as I'm doing now, but it doesn't mean that you have to listen to everything and take everything that I say as yours. You get to choose what feels right for you and what you will then do with that. So hear what other people have to say. We can get advice. We can listen to all these amazing experts out there and all the information that we come across. Do it with, again, love and kindness for yourself and for that person that's sharing it with you. But ultimately, you get to hear it, but you listen to yourself. Ask yourself, is this right for me? Will this work for me? Do I need to just try it and see? Do that trial and error experiment. See what works, see what doesn't. Only you know what is right for you. Nobody else can ever, ever, ever know what's within you and know what is right for you. As much as they pretend that they do and that they think that they do, they don't 100%. They might be able to see things within you that you may not be able to see, so they can push you and you might resist. And that's not a bad thing. Of course it's not. We need that sometimes. We need someone to just give us a nice gentle shove, or even a little harder shove sometimes. But ultimately you get to choose what is right for you. And the third thing that I do to keep building the trust within myself and becoming who I was always afraid to be is knowing that when I feel shitty, if I have a shitty day, if something happens that is beyond my control, that I didn't see coming, that I wasn't expecting, I get to love myself anyway. I use that love to guide me back. I use my love to know that I deserve to feel better. That, yes, I might be feeling a bit shitty now, but I get to always come back to the good feelings that I want to come back to. That they are my baseline. That I get to feel them no matter what. That they will always be there. I don't have to get rid of them. I don't have to allow the shittiness to wipe them out like I always did. I get to come back to feeling good always. I get to continue to use gratitude to help me to do that. Because sometimes, for me especially, not always feeling loved as a child, and then in my teenage years, and then I carried that with me as an adult. It is a little challenging sometimes with that love, but I know it's there. I know it is within me. Sometimes it does get that little bit lost as well, but I use gratitude to, I was going to say replace it, but it's not replacing. It's just in that moment I can just choose gratitude. If I can't feel any love, I get to feel grateful. And it's not that I don't feel love for myself. It's just sometimes the feelings are a little hard to feel sometimes for me because I am still working through a lot of the emotional stuff. But I know that it's always there. I know I can always come back to it. If I can't feel love, then I can at least feel grateful and I can at least still feel good. I get to always have that no matter what is going on in my life. So thank you for watching this 4-part series on trusting in yourself and becoming who you are afraid to be. And I welcome you to watch the next 4-part series, which is all about gratitude, about finding that in your life, finding it within yourself. So I hope to see you there.